In the beginning, the universe was created. This has made a lot of people very angry and been widely regarded as a bad move.
Hey, 27, 37, 7. What you say? Shiggity swole, Schfifty-Five. Shiggity swat, shiggity-five. Shiggity, shiggity swole, Schfifty-Five. Shiggity swattity swole, Schfifty-Five. Girlfriend's age, Schfifty-Five. My IQ, Schfifty-Five. You must pay. 5 plus 5 is 50, 50, 50. Schfifty-Five. Shiggity swattity swattity swole, swattity swole, Schfifty-Five. My IQ is 55. Shiggity swattity swattity swole. Schwattity swat, swat, swat. Shiggity swat, 50, 55. Come on, girl, when you add 5 plus 5. Come on, girl, 55, do that 55. Come on, girl, shake your butt, you ex. 55, 55, now let's do the stick. Come on. Shiggity swat, swat, shiggity swat, 55. Shiggity swat, 55. Shiggity swattity swattity swat, 55, 55. Come on, girl, 55. What you say? What you say? Come on, girl, 55. 55. Shiggity swat, 55. What you say? 55. What do you say? 55. Cannot hear you. 55. My ear can 55. Do it. Shiggity swattity swattity swat swat swat. 55.
That's Paul Schultz. I'm Steve Benson. This is the Don't Panic Radio Show. So sit back, relax, and ignore the news because nothing you're about to hear is true. And we are both the same age for the next week.
And how old are we?
55. 55. I tell you what, though, 55 is no joke.
55 says, watch your mouth.
They say, age is just a number. Well, yeah, a bullet is just a hunk of metal traveling
it's just a mineral.
The speed of sound. It messed with me, man. Like usually on my birthday, I just have this nice peaceful feeling, like I have no responsibilities. It's my birthday. If I'm like, maybe I should do that. No, I don't have to because it's my birthday, and that's usually how I feel. But yesterday I was just depressed almost all day. Yeah. Once the family got together and they made some cake and some things and gave me like this hat, for instance. My kid crocheted this hat.
Did they sneak up behind you with a measuring tape? Like, what are you doing? Nothing.
No, actually, she made one for my dad because he was cold, and she made him a hat. And I said his head's about the same size as mine, so just measure my head and make it that size. And she made 2, but I didn't know she was going to make 2. So
nice.
Here's what I think, and I'm going to start really narrow and work my way out, like concentric circles, right? And I don't, and this first one and this narrow one, I don't think it really matters that it's 55. It could be 45, it could be 35, anything 5. Okay. I imagine 15-year-olds are dealing with this. I'll have to ask my 16-year-old if she's dealing with this. But anyway, when the pandemic started, I was 50. Okay. Turning 55 is way different than 54. 55 is closer to 60 than 50. So until you're 55, you're still kind of 50, right? Just
kind of 50.
Just like it's been kind of 2020 for the past 4 years, right?
Yeah, you got a point there.
Yeah, it's been kind of 2020. This is just all a continuation of 2020. Even this presidential campaign we're going through right now just kind of feels like 2020.
It's 2020.2. So
I've been kind of 50 since the pandemic started. Now I was only 50 for a couple of weeks, and then I turned 51. But still, I was 50. So I was still 50, and I was 50 until yesterday. And now I'm almost 60. So I went from being 50 to almost 60 overnight.
Yeah.
So that started me thinking this, and this is a trauma response. I'll say it before you can, because I know if I said it, then you would go, that's a trauma response. I'd be like, yes.
Well, I'm the king of trauma responses.
I've been in this playing defense mode for 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
longer than 4 years. It started before
Yeah.
the pandemic.
Yeah, it's been a while, been longer for you than most of us. Yeah.
So playing protection, protect the family, protect the kids, protect other marginalized groups, protect. And my version of protecting, they say the best defense is a good offense. I go on the offensive. When I'm in defense mode and protection mode, I go on the offensive. I don't sit back and wait for something to approach and throw up a shield. I go out to meet the enemy where they are, right? And I've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how long until yesterday when I was like, crap. I was probably 48 or 49 when this all started, and now here I am almost 60. That's been a long time. It's time to get out of that mode. And I made a few mistakes recently where I went on the offense where I didn't need to. I was playing defense by going on offense, and I'm like, that wasn't needed. I think I could do a strategic retreat, fall back. What do they say in the war movies? Fall back to a defensible position. And let other people come to the front and start playing their own game, start doing their own thing, right? So that's the narrow focus that the reason it was hitting me so hard. I was like, crap, I think I've been messing up some things the last few months because I've still been in this mode and I don't need to be in that mode anymore. It was important for when it was important.
Yes.
It's not really important now.
Yep.
Okay, what was the next thing? Oh, it is now it is 55 is closer to 60 than 50, right? I am now entering the mode. This is truly the fourth quarter, right, of my work career. I got at least, I probably got 35 more years. My dad's 86. He's doing okay. He's had a few problems lately. My grandma died, his mom, when she was 86 or 87, somewhere in there. 35 more years. And I'm like, I don't want to feel like this for 30 or 35 more years. I want to feel better physically, mentally, and all that stuff. And then I'm like, what have I been doing? Oh my God, I got to get my act together. And I'm in probably the last 6 to 8 years of my career. So I'm like, I got to get that house in order. I just all of this, like you said, maybe it's a midlife crisis. I'm like, well, I don't feel like going out and getting a Corvette or starting a band. I mean, I would love to start a band, but that's not it. It's more like I got to get some kind of something going here. So that's why 55 hit me hard. And then there's just the general living in America. Cue the music. Living in America. My wife was telling me about, there's another country, it's probably like Norway or something, or Sweden, because everything's better there, where they see aging as just, hey man, whatever, I'm still here. Yeah, some things look different on me. My skin isn't the same as it used to be, and my back doesn't feel like it used to, but hey, I'm still here. It's just a different phase of life. It doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter. And in America, though, age is everything. They say it's just a number, but then marketing is different. You go to the store, it's different. It's different at work. It's different. Everything is different in America.
Yeah, because it's what can you contribute at that age? What's your value at that age as to what you can contribute? And by contribute, we all know it means make money.
Here's the interesting thing. Like, obviously, older folks have more money, but we've already locked into what we're spending our money on. We're not going to change our deodorant at this point. Although I did change my deodorant about 4 years ago, but 4 years ago, right? We're not changing our deodorant. We're not changing our toothpaste. We're not changing the kind of car. In fact, we've realized buying expensive cars isn't that important. So we're buying used cars. that's why the marketing and the sales isn't geared toward us, because they're not going to be able to convince us to spend our money on something different, right? We have more money, but it's locked into things already.
Right. So you changed your deodorant 4 years ago. Was it because of scarcity of the deodorant you preferred, and then you went, hey, this one's just as good? Oh, okay. Because I've had similar stuff like that happen
Yeah.
to me. It's like I never would have bought that if it weren't for the fact that what I wanted wasn't there, and it turns out this is pretty good. So
So two things. First of all, it was interestingly because my kids were using that deodorant and
Hmm.
it was on sale, buy one get one free, and I was like, I'll take the free one. And then I was just like, oh, this is my deodorant now.
Okay, now we have to know. People want to know what's your deodorant, Steve?
Arm & Hammer.
Oh, really? I never
Yeah.
would have thought. I've seen it, never thought about it.
Boy, the kids these days, they have all the different flavors. They got like squid flavor, they got bear flavor. I think there's
Flavored.
tiger flavor. It's the body wash, it's the shampoo, it's the deodorant.
Yeah.
Arm & Hammer
Huh.
is really making they're big with the kids. And see, that's the other part of that is marketing. And who did they market to? They
Right.
didn't market to me. They marketed to the kids, got them on it, and now the kids got
Mhm.
me on it, right? So no
Right,
wonder
right.
nobody markets to us.
Now we're not sponsored by Arm & Hammer, but we're willing to negotiate if Mr. Hammer or Mr. Arm is listening.
That's true. What kind of deodorant do you use?
Do I use?
Do you even use deodorant? That seems like the kind of thing where you would go, the natural smell is what the ladies
No,
like. So.
I have a lot of body washes and stuff like that. I don't whatever deal I don't know, whatever my girlfriend gets me.
Secret.
No, I'd tell you if I knew what it was. Well, I have gotten criticized in the past because I like say like Dove, for instance.
Yeah.
I've gotten criticized for liking old lady soap. So I'm like, what? It smells nice.
Yeah. Whatever. It smells like my grandma. What do you want?
Mm, smells like Kleenex and old lady farts. Leave me alone. Actual Kleenex, I might add. My
I brought
grandmother
all
never
this.
bought anything generic.
I brought all this up with when I was visiting my folks the other day, and my
Mhm.
brother very unhelpfully says, I'll be 60 next year because
Very unhelpfully.
his birthday's at the end of December, so he's currently
Uh-huh.
58. So he'll be 59 this year. He'll turn 60 next year. That was very not helpful. He's been retired since he was my age, by the way. I don't know. How has 55 been for you?
Well, it started off with a bang.
Yeah.
Well, my girlfriend and I, we've joked about how we've joked. The 50s, I love my 50s. I hate everything around my 50s though.
Mm,
It's like like I said earlier, 55 says things like watch your mouth.
yeah.
Being in your 50s is great for that. It's just like you're done. You don't take shit from nobody. You know exactly what you want in life. But then, of course, we have all this to contribute to the general human misery experience. But that having been said, 55, except for, the heart attack I had 2 days after my birthday and ending up in the hospital between Christmas and New Year's, uh, or it's been pretty good.
I think that's what threw me off. I was like, your heart attack was that long ago? I think the fact that you went to the hospital more recently is what threw me off a
Yeah.
little bit there.
Yeah, that one was me having a dizzy spell for some reason because I was out shoveling snow and
Yeah.
hello. But it wasn't a heart attack. It was just I was having we had COVID over actually I misspoke. It was just after New Year's, but during the Christmas break we got hit with COVID. And when I first got COVID several years ago, it messed up my breathing and coughing a lot for like months and months and months afterwards. Well, when I was out there shoveling, the coughing started, and then I started getting dizzy, and I ended up in an ambulance and at the hospital. And what it is I have this thing called
Oh.
ventricular tachycardia, and I've had it since I was like 17 years old because the first time it happened to me, we were playing basketball at your house.
Mm.
And like so they fit, but it's never been diagnosed because it's tricky. I mean, you could wear a heart monitor for 6 months and it could never happen. Anyway, I'm rambling. So that wasn't really a bad thing, me going into the hospital the way it was back in April, because they fixed the problem. They fixed both problems, but this wasn't like brought on by anything. I look at the hospital experience as a positive thing. So yeah, 55 has been great. I've said all that to say all that.
I agree with all that except for the part about knowing what you want in life. I guess that's the other thing that depresses me is I'm like, by this age, I think my parents were pretty much settled in. Like they knew what they liked, what they didn't like. They knew what they wanted, what they didn't want. Um, my mom went through some rough times between 45 and 55 because that was around when we both, my brother and I had left home. So she was having a little issue, like just getting that transition figured out.
Empty nest syndrome.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But, most people I know by this age, it's not, they haven't necessarily achieved their dreams or this is where I thought I'd be in life. Like, I don't know anybody who's like, yep, everything went pretty much according to plan. I don't know anybody like that. But usually it's like, well, at least I know who I am and what, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I ain't there yet. And I'm running out of time to get there.
Well, I think you know who you are because you know what you're not willing to put up with, and that's pretty much who you are.
This is about to turn into a therapy station.
Hey, but I won't charge us $55 an hour.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there needs to be a little more peace. Like so there's a lot of people get grumpy when they get older, and I think that's part of
Yeah.
what that is like people get grumpy because they're like, I know what I won't put up with, but it's your reaction to that.
Mhm.
Or the things that you've decided not to put up with. Like let's say it's when you order coffee at McDonald's and it's not quite the temperature you like. You're like, I've decided that's what I don't put up with. That's who I am. And then
This
your
is my
reaction to
hill.
that is to just be a grumpy old boomer at every McDonald's, right?
That's the risk we run. I've noticed there's been a shift in Gen X where we are really starting to sound like boomers.
Mm,
And I'm thinking those are the posers. Those are the ones who they may be um chronologically Gen X, but they ain't Gen X. They were still they were drinking the boomer Kool-Aid, at the very beginning. And they're
yeah.
really starting to sound like boomers now. And I've been trying to distance myself from, social media posts about, I kids today. I've noticed, like, say take Facebook for instance. I know I go in the morning and I check my Facebook memories because I'm looking for pictures of my cat and my kids. And I have noticed 5 to 8 years ago, um, I sound like a grumpy ass old man more so than I do. I should be sounding like that now.
Mhm.
You joke, we've joked in messages and whatnot about the great humbling, if you will.
Yeah.
That is all this.
Hmm.
And that definitely did it for me. I really, started to realize what was when you have to, like you said earlier, when you have to figure out what's important to you because it's based on what's important to your family. Because we were in that serious hunker down, fight mode for so long because there was so much out there that basically wanted to get at us.
Hmm.
And somewhere down the line, I started to realize there's probably about 5 things that I give a shit about. The rest I don't care about. And then uh now flash forward a couple years to me turning 55 and ended up in the hospital. It took a couple of months, but that 5 things got boiled down to like 3 because they're and I think that's when I say you know exactly who you are at that age. It's what you're willing to put up with is who you are.
Mm.
That's what I
What do
mean
you
by that.
What are you willing to put up with?
What am I willing to put up with? Not much. It's what I'm not willing to put up with.
Watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah, and my things generally come down to the way people treat other people. Those are the things that I'm not willing to put up with. Like people treating other people like garbage. It's like you can treat. It's almost like you could treat me pretty much how you want. I don't have a lot of like boundaries when it comes to how I'm treated, but when it comes to how you treat others, including my family, but also other groups as well, other people out in the wild, it's like I'm not willing to put up with a lot of this garbage that people are doing these days. And that's where you have to get a perspective on, okay, what's in the circle of your control, right? And if it's not within your circle of control, you may be able to influence if you, again, with the concentric circles, but there's what you can control, there's what you can influence, and then there's all the stuff outside of that, right? Where you go, you can care, but how much time do you want to spend on it? Because if there's nothing you can do about it, and I think that's why you see things like, I don't know, let's take Israel, Gaza as an example. People boycott Starbucks or they boycott McDonald's because Starbucks and McDonald's have come out in support of Israel. I think that's a way of saying, I care so deeply about the atrocities going on over there. I got to do something, right? But I'm not going to pick up a rifle and go over there and fight, so I will boycott McDonald's or Starbucks. But then you get what about Ukraine? Well, I guess I can vote, or I can put a little flag on my Facebook profile picture. That's something I can do. But see, those things, those are like really marginally effective in terms of influence. So I think that's probably part of the perspective that I need to start to get is, what do I care enough about to pull in my circle of control and try to influence? And all the other stuff, I got to have a perspective that says it's okay to know about it, it's okay to pay attention to it, but just let it be,
Yeah. Well, I think, honestly, I think boycotting because billionaires have made life all about money. Boycotting is way more effective than you might think.
Yeah.
And case in point, what's been going on with Kellogg's. It's way more important than now. But the question is, then what do you do about something like Ukraine? Yeah, I don't know. What do you boycott for that? Money talks.
Yeah.
And everything else walks.
Yeah, and something interesting I think has happened that I haven't heard many people talk about. Maybe people are talking about it, but I haven't heard it. And that is when Israel-Gaza started back in October, the Biden administration was pretty much, Israel's our ally, we stand by Israel, et cetera, right? Then as things went on, and Biden started losing the support of left leaning, not leaning, leftist, there you go, leftist young people. And he started seeing in the primaries, people like not voting for him in the primaries. He started to change his tune. Now, he's still not coming out and saying, Israel, you got to stop he's still sending them the bombs and the weapons and things, but he has changed his rhetoric, right? So whenever anybody says, like, there's nothing you can do, the politicians are going to do what they want to do. It's like, clearly Biden cares about getting reelected, and the man knows how to get elected.
Yes,
and he
does.
knew that he had to listen to these voices. He may not come all the way to their side of the spectrum, and he may not go, yeah, it's genocide and we're going to stop sending them weapons. He may not go that far, but he will moderate his stance,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess that's like, just because that's why I say circle of influence and circle of control. I can't control what Biden does, but to your point, through boycotts or through voting or political donations or being one voice among a million in a petition or whatever it is, you can influence things, right? But if it's like beyond your control or influence, you got to have that perspective. I'm not saying don't pay attention to it or don't care, but you got to have the perspective of don't let the hopelessness creep in.
Yeah.
The other thing I got to do now, bringing it back home, bringing it back full circle, I got to get some kind of exercise program going. And I get the walking. I know what a fan you are of walking. I got to do more than walk. I am not flexible like I used to be a lot more flexible. I got to get something going.
Used to be very athletic.
I got to get something going like yoga or something.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I'll go see a physical trainer, not a trainer, a physical therapist for my knee. The one I got operated on is like, I can't bend it very far and all this stuff. So I think I need some physical therapy.
Yeah.
And then get some recommendations from them. Like, how do I get my flexibility and my, strength back and go that route?
I'm just a fan of walking because it's very low impact and it's very high yield. And you can do that whilst you wait 3 months to get in to see your doctor.
Exactly.
Who will tell you to get more exercise in, go to a gym, that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I love walking too. I'm not discounting walking. I'm saying I need something in addition to walking. Walking's like I gotta do the walking.
Yeah, I guess when I message you, I don't mean this is the end all be all. This is all you got to do. I mean, this is a great start. It worked for me,
When you message me about walking, I assume you mean do nothing else in my life other than walking. I assume you mean get up in the morning, Forrest Gump all day long, just start walking.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't even shave.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
Good. I was about to start doing that. To be like, where'd Steve go? My phone ran out of battery.
Day, I just went walking.
Yeah, need somebody to bring me some portable chargers.
You're like Leslie Nielsen when he gets to the end of the sidewalk by the cliff because he's out walking one night. He's like, "Wait, how did I get here?"
This isn't my beautiful wife. All right, so what did we learn today? Get out there, start walking, but not just walk. Do more than just walk. Walk Plus. That's our new program. It's the Don't Panic Radio Show Get Healthy program. It's called Walk Plus.
That's right.
We got to spell walk a little bit different. I don't know how to spell WALC and then just the plus sign, Walk Plus.
Yes.
And now we got to figure out what that stands for. It's an acronym for something.
If you have any ideas for a cool acronym, let us know in the comments.
But other than that, I got nothing. What do you got? You got anything else? Oh, therapy, regular therapy. Got to get that going. This is the year of self-care.
Yeah, listen and listen to more Alan Watts.
Oh yeah, Alan Watts, y'all.
Yeah, I heard one thing one time where he says the purpose of life is to live it, and I'm like, yeah, fuck everything else.
That's right.
That was kind of a turning point for me.
Like, subscribe, tell your friends, check out Doomed Wizard. Check out, if you haven't already watched the D&DP videos, go watch those.
Yeah, there's one up. Yeah, back it up a little bit. Yeah, you got to be in the picture. There's one up now in our feed, and there'll be another one up every Monday for 3 parts.
I don't know how much fun it is to watch. It's an awful lot of fun to be in. Well, that's Paul Schultz. I'm Steve Vincent. This has been the Don't Panic Radio program. Nothing you just heard was true.
That's a pretty good episode for.
Not bad.
Basically, it was the past day's worth of our messaging each other.
Yes.